Hey guys, it's your girl Ev. So today is the final part in the review of what we got for the year in our subscription boxes. And in this one, we're going to just count down all the palettes that we received this year, or that I received, because of course, depending, we get different stuff. Some things everybody gets, but for the most part, there'll be different pieces people will get. And in fact, like there were definitely palettes that came out this year, such as there was an Ace Beauté palette that came out. I did not get that. There that people got. There was one or two you could have got, and I didn't even get neither one. There was some people had gotten that Too Faced Palm Beach whatever kind of palette. Some people got the Lights of Drag, so I didn't get those palettes. So these are just the ones that I received in a ranking of those that I received. I have 25 here. There was one other palette that I did get that I had gave to my niece a while. Actually, I gave it to my niece like about a month and a half ago, and didn't know I was gonna do this. So I gave her that. It was like the Shauna B eyeshadow palette. I gave that to her to play with. But other than that, the rest of these are the palettes I got. Again, like I said, there's 25 eyeshadow palettes. I'm not gonna rank the few face palettes I got. I got 3 face palettes. One was the Kenya Ontiveros palette, which I shared was one of my favorites in the makeup category that I did previously. And then I also got the Cocoa Contour palette from Too Faced. I mean, I was gonna rank these palettes, but then I just kind of thought it was like a strange way to rank them. So I got the and then I also just got this month this Lucky Glow. I mean, this would be like the bottom of the 3 that I got, and the Kenya would be the top. So this one's in the middle. So there you I just ranked them for you. So those are those. But the rest of these I'm going to go through. Now, I think the big thing to look at this, and I'm going to also rank the palettes that I purchased for 2020 and another. I didn't think it was, originally I was going to rank all my palettes, but I kind of didn't feel like it was right to rank my subscription box palettes with the ones that I purchased, because I purchased those, and these I didn't know what was coming. And so I just thought I'd do it this way. And when you put them all together, what I purchased this year and what I got in my subscription boxes, I got a lot of palettes. And so I'm looking at all of that and kind of making an evaluation about either how I'm gonna manage what I purchase, or if I'm gonna limit some of these boxes. And so I'm still trying to make that decision. All right, so let's just get right in. I'm gonna start with the palette at the bottom for me, and then work my way to the one that's at the top. So 25 would be this little Deuce palette that I got in this tiny little Deuce palette. And I got this in, I think I got it in Ipsy. I'm pretty sure I got it in Ipsy. I've gotten several things from Deuce. I got other things from Deuce before, so that's what makes me pretty sure I got this from Ipsy. It's not like it's bad or anything. It's just, it's 4 colors and they're just okay. So that's why it's there. Really these ones at the bottom, these at the very bottom here, are probably the ones that I'm least happy with, and won't necessarily keep these. I am debating about depotting some shades in some of these. I've never done that, and having like a Z palette, but then I'm like, will I even use it? I don't know, but I'm thinking about doing that. I got this in a glossy box. It's from La Splash. It's the La Splash eyeshadow palette. And the interesting thing is you'll see a similarity in these color stories. So I thought these were just okay shadows. I mean, the shimmers are okay. The shimmers perform pretty good for shimmers. The mattes didn't do much for me on they just really didn't blend out well on my face. So that's why this is where it's at. I just really felt like the mattes didn't work for me. And then similar to that one, as I was saying, these color stories are looking the same. I got this Stephen Laurent palette in a single swag box this year. Stephen Laurent showed up a few times in that box. Stephen Laurent has shown up in other subscription boxes that we've gotten. I mean, they've been in Boxycharm once. I feel like this kind of reminds you of those MAC 9 pan palettes, but really, if you look at these color stories, you can see they're like the exact same color story. But the interesting thing is about Steve Laurent is it's kind of like priced high. I don't know who he is, but his products are like priced a little higher. I don't know if you've gotten Steve Laurent and you've seen that. You know what I'm talking about. Like, let me know. Put like a thumbs up in the comments so I know you know what I'm talking about when it comes to the price for Steve Laurent. Now this one, I think I'm gonna just I don't know, because it's like okay. Debating about putting this in the car and making it a car palette. 22. I think I've already said I'm not gonna keep this one. And this is that Illuminati times Isa. I think the only reason why I've ranked this higher than those three is just because it does have some colors to it, but the colors don't perform really well. I might depot this Izzy, this glitter shade, because I just don't have a glitter shade that color. So I'm thinking about that. But I just felt like when I did use these colors, even when I did create a look and it was actually okay, it just faded away by like the colors just kind of faded into each other. So I don't know what's going on while my dog is. What you want, Ace? What's going on? I don't know what he's doing over there. Number 20 is Give Them La La Beauty. This came in an AIA, October, November AIA box. This is what it looks like. This palette was not bad. It just wasn't right for my skin tone. I mean, it's Lala's beauty, so it's sure it's right for her skin tone. It wasn't horrible. Like when I put on a base or a concealer, I could make it work. But this color story just doesn't even really excite me. This color here is okay, but it's just kind of ashy on me. Like even let me show you the brown. I mean, again, this is matte, so like the matte brown wasn't too bad. That's what I was trying to say. Like it's not horrible, but it just doesn't excite me. So that's why it is where it's at. 20 was this Pure Festival palette. That was the second. The first Pure Festival palette was so nice, and then we got this one, and this one just is another one that just doesn't like inspire me. I don't. Now this is definitely one that I would either put in the car or put in my desk at work for if I have to work late and I need to just touch up my face, because I could do a basic neutral with those browns, or if I had to throw in a pop of color, I could do something with it. But it just is an okay palette for me. Number 19 is the Eloise, the Queen. The Queen lies in all of us. I feel like these shadows perform okay. I haven't really used this one a lot, but I need to use it more. But I just it has a lot of colors, but it's almost like a lot of colors that I don't really know what to do with. If that makes any sense. It's a lot going on there. Number 18 is this Illamasqua palette. We received this in our Boxycharm Premium. This is the Unveiled Artistry palette. So the thing about this palette is that these shimmers are really nice, but these mattes, like it just doesn't do anything for me. Like not even this deepest matte, it just looks ashy on my skin tone, and you kind of feel like couldn't they have not had so many beiges and just did like a richer brown? Like this is like an ashy brown. I mean, there's nothing about this palette that's for my skin, and maybe that's Illamasqua and how they roll over there, but I don't know. But like the shimmers, again, the shimmers are really soft and creamy and pretty, and they are nice. But I do have this red, like some of their colors though that are in other palettes that I have, but it is really, they are creamy, so I'm on the fence about it because I just don't know that I would grab it though for these just because these colors are in a lot of palettes that I have. 17 is the Violet Voss Essentials 2. This was the follow-up from the Essentials 1 that we got in a Boxycharm, and we got this, and I think this one is fine, you know. At this point, guys, so from this point on, I feel like the palettes themselves are good. You know, this is just how my perception of them as they got better, or how they performed for me. But overall, I feel like at this point, these palettes are more usable, where I felt like, well, I shouldn't say the Queen. I only ranked Illamasqua above the Queen because of the quality of the shimmers, but I can get more use out of the Queen. So let me preface that. But now moving forward, I feel like most of these I use, and they're fine in terms of being able to use them. They're not bad. So this one it's just not, again, it's nice, but it's just not, I just don't gravitate to it a lot. That's why it's where it's at. The Beauty Bakery Breakfast in Bed palette. Now this was one that actually performed better. This cool tone side, this here, it actually made a really pretty look with it. You know, it's a cool tone palette, and it doesn't look exciting, but when I did use it, I really did like the look I made with it, and so I like this. And I don't have a lot of cool tone palettes, and I like cool tones. I don't know why I don't have a lot. I just don't think they make a lot, to be honest with you. So I just don't have. So yeah, that's that. Number 15 is the Violet Voss Creme Brulee, which I got in an Ipsy. Little sticky notes telling me when I got this. And we got this October 2020. It's a nice travel palette. Basic neutral, warm neutral palette. Number 14, I got this in a premium. It's a Smashbox. In April 2020, got this. Now, the only reason why I think I have this up there is because it's Smashbox, because of the packaging. Like, I feel like I would have thought the colors would have performed better. Like, it's not bad, but I just had higher expectations for them. It's particularly this little quad here. Like, these are not the best. Number 13 is this Boxycharm Hello Charmer. I actually thought this was a pretty good palette for release for Boxycharm. When I was talking about depotting a couple of colors, this would be one I would depot a few colors from. Like, I wouldn't keep all of them, but I do like these glitters in here. I like this fun size sneak peek. I mean, I like the shimmers. The mattes not so much, but I like the shimmers. So if I were to depot, maybe somehow depot out of that. Number 12 is the Morphe Times Manny MUA Glam Palette. This is one I had. I gave my niece the one that came in the box because I already purchased this. But I think this is a good neutral palette. I mean, I feel like it performs okay. I mean, there's some colors that perform better than others. I like the top highlighter, works for me. And yeah, it's just a good basic palette. I can see myself taking this if I have to travel. I can definitely see taking this with me. I tend to take palettes that I like, but not the ones, unless I'm doing something really special. If it's just like work travel, I take a palette that if I lose it, I won't be like, oh, so upset, like I'll be okay. Because I have a tendency to like lose stuff when I go out of town. This other for number 11, getting through here pretty quick, guys. We have the Ciate palette that we got. I think this palette is a good palette. Yeah, I like it. It's funny because this color, it's so interesting how you can see certain colors show up, like Fire Witch in here, and then you look in here, and I don't know if this doesn't have a name, but that color's right there. So it's just how interesting how that happens. Number 10 I have is the Fenty Beauty palette that we received, the Moroccan Spice palette. Now this palette, one, I think is just probably one of the prettiest palettes that I got this year. If I was rating my palettes just on the packaging, like this would have probably been the best one that I got this year. This and the natural matte probably would have been ranking up there in terms of the packaging, which I just think it's such a pretty packaging. But I do feel like these gold shimmers right here are really nice, but I feel like it's way too, it's another one where I feel like, why did they put so many browns in here? So many shades of, brown. I just feel like it could have been better. And then, so it's like I don't get really inspired by it, but when I do use it, I make a nice look. But it's just not a palette that I reach and grab for. But I have it in there up as high as I do because it's Fenty and it's really pretty. Number 9 is the Tarteist Pro from Tarte. Now this palette, I actually was going to ask my mother if she wants it. She wears makeup from time to time, but she doesn't wear it often. But I feel like this is a really good palette for someone who doesn't wear makeup often, but just wants to be able to pull something out when they're going to go, out with their husband, or they're going to an event, like or she's at the church and it's a special time and she just wants to put a wash of color on her eyes, because it's not like these are really simple colors. These are kind of colors people who don't wear makeup all the time might wear, they'll feel comfortable wearing. They're just little blue in here. For me, it's not enough. It's like kind of boring, but I feel like for someone, like I said, who doesn't wear makeup often, I think this is a good palette for that. So I was going to ask her if she wants it, but the mattes perform really good. The shadows perform well. It's a good performing palette. It's just kind of boring for me. Number 8 is the Picante palette by Cocotique. I just think this is a great palette for the time of year when for fall mostly, but yeah, I think it's just a good palette. I don't grab this a lot. It's another one that I don't grab a lot. When I'm looking for orange, I don't know why. I need to start using it more. I've only used it once or twice, and I think the shadows perform okay. Number 7 for me is the Too Faced Natural Matte. Now this is one, I think this packaging is just so pretty. I have the natural eyes I purchased for myself, and I do really like the natural eyes. I read but these shadows, hold on one second. Somebody just coming. No, sorry, that was my next door neighbor. You gotta pay attention. What's going on? All right. So let me start that over. Just real quick, these shadows are just really just creamy. They're really a good, nice, creamy matte colors. I mean, this brown, so pretty. And they're just nice. But I prefer the other one because I like to have some shimmer. But this is a really nice palette, and it's just really pretty. So I'll never get rid of it because I'm going to display it with its sister and put them, I just think they're so pretty. Number 6 to me is a new palette we just got this month, the C Note palette. I did do a really pretty look with it from Hip Dot. I just really, Hip Dot is now like a brand that I really am enjoying. I like this color story. These colors worked well. I know I did at first. This is when I did my first look with it, I had like, not difficulty, but I just kind of wasn't sure where I was going with it. Put it that way. But I wound up putting something together and I did like it. So that's that. Number 5 is this Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsession palette. I got this in a Ipsy, and it actually was an option for people in this month's Boxycharm. Some people might have gotten this. I really do like this. It reminds me a lot of the It's My Pleasure palette from ColourPop as well. I just think it's really pretty. I love purples though. Like when it comes to eyeshadow, like purples and blues. I really just love purples and blues. Number 4 is the Venice Fling Bailey Sarian Times Estate palette. This was one, came in our Ipsy. I really like this. Now, I know when I was swatching it, like the shimmers perform a lot better than the mattes. And I wish this was gone and they had like a deep brown, or this was gone. Like, I don't feel like you need these two colors. So, I mean, I know she's very fair skinned, so I'm sure these colors are good for her skin tone, and you know, she's the muse for the palette. But I just wish there was like a deeper brown in here, and then it would have been like a really perfect palette for me. But it's very pretty, and I really like it. I really like how it performs, and every time I use it, I make a nice look. This is one I would like keep in my collection, like for sure. I like this. Number 3 is another Hip Dot palette. This is the Zion palette. I think this palette is just so pretty. Perfect for fall and winter. These colors are I just really love this palette. It's very good. I don't think I gotta say much more, right? If you like it, you like it. Number 2, we got in our premium this month. Let's see what's going on. In our premium this month, we got the Viseart. These shadows are so good, y'all. And it's an $80 palette, so you know I'm ranking it high. And it's $80, and because it's actually good. You can feel the $80 in it. So I'm really happy to get this. And number 1 for me is this Natasha Denona palette that we received, the Peak palette. I really like this palette. I feel this is very pretty. I'm really happy to get something like this in a Boxycharm. I like that it's shadows that she already had in other palettes and she put them together here. I mean, it really is a good, strong palette, and it came in our subscription box that we pay, you know, it came in the premium, right? So I think it came in a premium. We pay what, $35 for that, and this palette alone is almost $50. It's $48. So to be able to try Natasha Denona in a subscription box was awesome. So yeah, so guys, that's it. That was my ranking. Let me know what you think about it. Or there's some palettes you would have had a lot higher, and you know, or some of mine you're surprised that I had them where I had them. But let me know. And if you like subscription box unboxings, you like talking about beauty and lifestyle, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload, or you will not know when I upload in these YouTube streets because they hella congested. So be sure to hit that notification bell. All right, and for those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. I so appreciate you. All right, guys, bye.